I tell all of my clients, the goal is win the day. You can also eat more crap, but you're doing it with abs and doing it in great shape.
It's nice range of motion, gentlemen.
A lot of us are walking around inflamed.
Everyone thinks we need like coffee and this and that to like get jacked up.
Yeah.
All you need is a bit of movement.
You don't give your body enough time to actually repair.
Good job.
Let's get this podcast.
Let's do it.
Today we have Julian Brass, who's an award-winning tech entrepreneur, who is the best-selling author of Owning Your Anxiety, and is the founder and head coach at FFit40, and is also just jacked.
My guy.
Very
My
jacked.
guy.
Thank you for
My
coming.
guy.
The main goal here is to come away with a blueprint for how we can actually get more fit, feeling better, looking better, all of it.
Let's do it.
So just to go straight in, what do you think the biggest mistakes are for generally people in their 40s, but the stuff that overflows to the 20s also?
Yeah,
So
for
just what
sure.
everyone's doing wrong.
For sure, everyone is doing it
Which
wrong.
I'm sure there are things.
What
No,
are we doing
listen.
wrong? The
Wait,
bad
yeah.
habits.
Let's put it like this. Okay, I'm gonna give you some really quick pointers for everybody because I know that everyone's like, I don't have time. Tell me the good stuff. Give me the tachlis. Let's go tachlis right now. So look, bottom line is that most people don't truly understand nutrition. Okay, nutrition is like incredibly important. You got to understand how many calories do you burn a day? What's your BMR? Like, what's your normal burn rate? If you're eating more than that, or you're drinking your calories, you're not going to get shredded. Okay. You're going to think, oh, I could go like hit the gym harder or go hit a HIIT class harder, but it's not going to work. You got to be in a calorie deficit. This is number one. It's key. It's a game changer. Okay. Now, the breakdown of your calories matters. So like, what are your calories? Are they clean, whole, good foods, or are they doused in, preservatives, full of oil, full of crap? Okay. So that's a key thing. We got to know about our macros and our nutrition. Okay.
And after, can we go into how we figure that out? How we
Um,
figure your maintenance calories and all that?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Sure. Okay, next up is like, how are you training? Okay, training is very important. I think that the fitness industry is very flawed, and there's a few good personal trainers out there, but the vast majority do not actually know what they're doing, and they're like way too busy on their phones rather than like really coaching clients. Okay, and to really nail this, you got to think of fitness and nutrition and weight loss and the whole fitness game, let's call it, as a holistic game. Okay, like I'm trying to get my clients to think about holistic health first and foremost. It's not just about your workout. It's not just about what you ate. It's not just about how you slept. It's not just about how you stretched. It's about everything combined, including your mindset. And if you don't have the right mindset while you're doing all these things, it's not going to end up really taking you where you want to go. Okay, so it's all these different factors. And that's what we do in my program, FFit40.
Yeah. I don't know why I have such a visceral negative reaction to the holistic approach, because I'm like, I just want it to be easy, and it's just not.
All things worth having take work.
But it's surprising that the work, because I think of, especially the gym, it's a lot of hard work. You go and it's painful, but you love it. And then it's an hour of hard work. And you're saying it's not enough to just do that.
It's not enough. No, because if you're eating like an idiot outside of the gym, you're stuffing your face, you're taking snacks here, a handful of that there, at an event, you're just doing this, doing that. You're, having drinks without even thinking about how much alcohol am I consuming, whatever the case may be, putting sugar in your coffee, cream, milk, like it goes on and on and on. If you don't actually know, you're just going to be spinning your tires. And if you're working out trying to get in shape and you don't actually see the results, it's even more defeating. Let me tell you something. I'm almost 42 years old, okay? I was chubby and fat up until I was like in my 20s. And then from like 20 to like late 30s, I still didn't have what you would call a good body. I had a decent body, but I was trying hard. And then
Six-pack?
No, not until I was like late 30s and into my 40s.
Wow.
Seriously. If you would have told me, hey, Julian, you're going to have a six pack in your 40s when I was in my teens and 20s, I would have thought you were on crack. Okay. Like there was no way. Different alternate reality, no chance that's happening for Julian. Julian, I was told I had big bones, bad genes. The Brass family doesn't have abs. I hired some of the best trainers, literally. And they're like, yeah, it's not that type of body. You don't have that kind of body. It's not going to happen. And I decided to take it into my own hands and really hack this thing. And I realized that, there is a way to like have your cake and eat it too. Okay. I actually got in the best shape of my life living between Toronto and Tel Aviv. I was flying back and forth all the time, eating out all the time, Back then, I was drinking more alcohol and I still managed to get abs. You can do it. You just got to understand how. You got to understand what you're eating. Okay. It's very important. You need to understand how you're moving. So like literally, what are you doing? What is your exercise? Okay. Muscles are a funny thing where you got to pull those fibers. You got to tear the fibers just a little bit. Not like you actually hurt yourself, but you hit it hard enough that you give it a chance to repair and grow back slightly bigger. But the problem is that like, you know, gym bros, like when I was in my early 20s, I was hitting the gym 6 times a week. You don't give your body enough time to actually repair. So your muscles are constantly trying to repair, but you're not letting them, so they don't grow back enough. What ends up happening? First of all, the muscles don't get as big as you would like them to get. Second of all, injury. Okay, like injury is something that will happen a lot more if you're not giving yourself time. So, you know, that's why it's key to, I like to do just 3 workouts a week. And then
really only 3?
That's it. And then the rest of the week, it's all about like low impact cardio. It's about better mobility, stretching, you know, all that kind of stuff, and food, right? And mindset. A lot of people don't want to talk about mindset, but at the end of the day, it's our mind that is going to either help us and enable us to get in great shape and stay there and be happy as we go through the journey, or it's going to be like our biggest enemy. And it's going to constantly be saying, no, don't work out, eat this, drink that, forget it. It's not worth it. YOLO, life is short. Do what you want. But the truth is that you can ignore reality, but you cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality.
So I want to get into all of these tactically. What do we actually do better? But first, what's the difference? What's the before and after in the lifestyle that to you justifies all this work? What's bad about the one way of life that maybe a lot of people are in now or you started out in, and what's better about the new life?
So I'm in New York City with you guys, right? It's great to be here. Let me tell you, I walked like 30 blocks to get here.
No way.
And, you know, as I was walking through these streets, I'm like, man, I remember being so hungover on these streets so many times, you know? Like I've been to New York City like maybe 200 times in my life, 300 times, like so many mornings, which were really like early afternoons with hangovers, going through these streets, trying to sober up, trying to feel better, trying to feel functioning again. And then you go to the next event and it's like repeat. I'm walking around with gratitude. Okay. Like, wow, I feel amazing. I am alive. My senses are activated. You know, I'm stronger than 95%, if not 99% of the people I'm walking by.
You're not gonna go like you know, knock them out.
I'm not looking to scrap, but like I'm like,
You could.
I'm grateful. I am so grateful because health is our biggest gift. So honestly, when I was in my 20s, man, I was just like torturing my body, okay? Like having way too much fun. But that's the thing, and that's where the mindset comes in. When you can redefine what fun really is, right? And fun is taking you closer to becoming a better man or a better woman. Fun is taking you closer to like, you know, living your purpose. Fun is, you know, being grateful for like, you know, this beautiful summer morning that we have. You know, fun is being functioning enough and healthy enough to come and see you guys for a podcast and walk 30 blocks and not break a sweat. Like it's a different type of fun. Fun for me used to be 3, 4 a.m., you know, partying. Now it's like get up at 5 or 6 and like, you know, like take advantage of this gift of life. Not, you know, dulling myself, but waking up. And I think, you know, a lot of my clients are guys in their 40s and 50s, right? Very successful founders, entrepreneurs, CEOs, executives. They're crushing it. They have every toy, every watch, you know, a lot of them have that really beautiful wife. They got the great kids, like they're doing their thing. But where they're lacking and where a lot, I want to give this to you guys, you know, the younger generation, so that you don't have to like waste 20 years to figure out what I've figured out and what my guys have now figured out. They're lacking in the sense that like the reward system is totally mixed up, right? Like I met you guys at the United Hatzalah Gala, fantastic event. The reward system for some people that night was, I want to go support this incredible organization that really helps make Israel a safer, healthier, better country to live in for all peoples, okay? That's one type of thought. Another is like, I'm just here for the open bar, man. Like, let's go.
And we saw that.
And that's the after party too.
You know, so it's like, we have to ask ourselves, like, what's my situation here internally? What am I doing here? What do I really care about, right? And sometimes, honestly, you got to walk the path that is less walked to figure out what matters to you, okay? But when you figure it out, especially your age, I'm telling you from experience, when you figure it out, you're like not in a cocky way, but like in a, like, I understand there's a higher purpose and a higher way of living than all this, like, instant gratification crap, like drinking, alcohol, whatever, like, one night stands, like quick fixes. There's gambling, late night food. Like there's a better thing. There's a better way to live. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a monk. I'm not I'm
Late
not.
night food is awesome.
So I was going to say, that's why I corrected myself. I agree. It's freaking awesome. Okay. But once in a while, and why wasn't I in good shape in my 20s? Because I had too much late night food. So I like to say it's not a cheat. It's a treat. Don't call it a cheat meal. Negative psychology. Call it a treat meal. It's a reward for crushing it during the week.
Did you want that fun that you have today in your 20s? Or do you wish that you had that fun that you have today in your 20s and you wish that you had that mindset then?
It's a great question. I believe that the best way to live is to not live like, beating ourselves up about the past and full of shame and regret. Okay. 100%. However, I would say unequivocally that I overpartied, I overdrank. I did not, need to go to the extent of like so many years of it. And so many of my peers are in the exact same place. And they're still, having way too much fun, fake fun, bullshit fun, fleeting fun in their 40s and 50s. So to answer your question head on, I think every human being, should experience like life in terms of like, maybe get a couple scrapes along the way, figure it out, learn, grow. However, I think that it's about understanding like what is that limit and like what's my stop loss? Like how much do I need to let myself do that until it's time to realize that there's actually a much better way to live. So I would have preferred to not have like partied, for so many years and drank and like, think that I need it. And I would have rather know what I know now a little bit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
What's the perfect workout routine for guys?
I love it. This guy's like way deeper. Okay. So Asher's
No,
the deep
he's
guy,
usually the
and
deep one.
DJ's like, give me the workout.
You don't understand. For 4 years, I've been working out, and now it's just like nothing's moving.
How many calories are you eating a day?
Probably 2,400.
Okay, so you need to know. First of all, you should know.
So how do you get on the dot? How many calories am I getting?
It's scary to know. Like it takes a lot of time.
Yeah. So I tell everybody, track your stuff for like a couple of weeks, just so that you can train your mind and train your eye. Okay. So that when you're, out for lunch or at a business dinner or on vacation, like, you gotta like AI bot your eyeballs to know like what's this, what's that. Okay. Now, so got
so Cal AI or MyFitnessPal, those kind of things.
Those things are great. Yeah. Yeah. And then in my program, F40, we, have an in-app tracker that everybody is able to use. Yeah. It's really key. So once you understand that, you're laughing. You got to have a lot of protein. I'm sure you've heard you want to have about a gram of protein for every pound that you weigh or that you want to weigh. Okay. Very important. Then the food quality is key. Like if you get all your protein from like, protein bars,
yeah,
you're not going to get the look or the output or the energy that you really want.
What's the cheapest protein? Because it's very expensive to eat 100. I'm like 160, 170. That's a lot of protein.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you guys weigh more than me. I don't know, but I don't know.
I weigh 150.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm only about 170.
Whoa, I'm fat. Anyways, but
you look great, buddy. You look great. Come
anyways,
on.
okay.
Yeah,
there you go. I'm sturdy. Oh,
but yeah, you're looking good. You're good.
How do you afford 170? I mean, but how do more people afford?
Well, first of all, I think it's worth looking at nutrition like it's an investment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you want to make money? Good. Fuel yourself like the type of man that is worthy of making money. Okay, not the guy who's like, in and out of, the fast food restaurants who's just like, I'm not worth investing in myself. Okay, so like, I think that's a key thing, seriously. Like, I see a lot of people who are like, I don't have money for good food, but they're wearing a Rolex. Like, choose your lane, brother, because I'll tell you, if you fuel yourself and you really invest in your health, you will make way more money. I have guys in their 50s who are worth like, hundreds of millions of dollars who come to me and they're in terrible shape. I've got guys who've had a heart attack in their 40s and they're like, I gotta change my health. They've got a yacht. It's like, what were you doing? Well, why was the yacht more important than your health? So once we sort of have that like shift, it's a wow moment, right? So it's really worth investing in yourself at a young age. It's key. And you guys are the age where like you can kind of get away with a little bit more. But when you enter your 30s and your 40s and your 50s, like, dude, it's not a hangover for a morning. It's a hangover for like 5 days. Okay?
Sounds awful.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what do we do? Because let's say we're getting 50 grams of protein.
Yeah.
Is just nothing happening?
Yeah.
Are you not going to get any muscle growth?
Very, very minimal. It's not enough. So you got to get your protein sources, okay? And you want to prioritize good quality, okay? Here's a nice little hack for everybody.
Best quality, cheap protein.
Okay. Egg whites. Put egg whites into a shaker with protein powder and a couple ice cubes.
Is that
And
bad for you?
Shake
Is that
it up.
raw eggs?
It's egg whites. It's all good.
Oh.
It's like no yolk.
No cholesterol, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a nice little hack. Okay. Sugar-free Greek yogurt, 0%. Awesome. A lot of men are afraid of tofu. I'm not saying eat tofu every day, but a little bit of tofu. Like I eat 2 bricks of tofu every week.
Every week. I thought you said every day. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I just had one on my way over here.
I thought the soy makes you like grow boobs. Is that true?
You know what? I've actually researched the heck out of this, and that is like the jury's out. Like
it's not real.
No, like if you have a pack a day, perhaps it's too much. But I personally, I've been having like 2 packs a week for about 5-6 years now, and like I don't know, man, boobs. I got great pecs.
There you go.
Okay, they're firm, they're strong, they're defined.
Let me get in touch.
They're not sagging. You want to get in here?
Yeah.
Come on.
Got the 2 tofu bricks.
2 tofu bricks.
Yeah. That's the firm tofu.
I love obviously lean proteins. Okay, it's great.
So chicken,
fish. Some extra lean ground beef. Fish a couple of times a week. Legumes are great, like lentils, chickpeas, beans. But again, it's about your, living in that caloric deficit. I tell all of my clients, the goal is win the day. Okay. So win the day means being a caloric deficit with a lot of protein and healthy food. Okay. I'm not even going to talk about all the movement stuff, but from a nutritional perspective, that's the key. But if you're not going to win the day, remember this, if you're not going to win the day, win the week. Okay. So let's say like one day you kind of like, overconsume. Don't beat yourself up and then be like, F it. I'm just going to overconsume tomorrow and the next day as well. No, say, okay, I had, a great time on Shabbat or on, my Saturday night date or whatever, my boys' party. Great. Now make up for it. So win the week. Okay. So
question on that. I have a habit of once I go over on a day, I'm just like, it's over. I'm going all in. Go like 10,000 calories.
Yeah.
Whole box of donuts.
Yeah. So this is a major derailment of your success.
Even just for that one day?
Well, yeah, because your body like can't metabolize so much, right? So now you're asking your body to like metabolize this over like a longer amount of time.
So
and then it's not going to attack the fat that you were trying to get rid of in the first place. Right. And that's another problem with alcohol, right? Alcohol, like I know there's a lot of people who love alcohol. I used to be one of them. I'm a connoisseur, man. I could talk to you about good tequila, scotch, and IPAs
He doesn't drink
all day. Good for you. Okay, well then even more advantage to get shredded. The problem with drinking and trying to get fit is that it's a poisonous substance to the body. So the body attacks the alcohol first to metabolize it, okay? And then it goes after the body fat that we're trying to get rid of. But if you don't have the booze in the first place, you're going straight to the body fat, okay? Plus it depletes testosterone. You're talking about estrogen. Most people are like worried about, oh no, the estrogen. But what about the testosterone that you're depleting by drinking too much alcohol? That's a huge thing too. Like when I stopped drinking a lot, even when I just went from a lot to like moderate and then moderate to none, like my body really changed and my strength really changed as well, And eventually, to a point you made earlier, eventually, you kind of ask yourself, you're like, I am training hard. I am thinking about nutrition, a lot. I'm really trying to do this and get a great body and feel really good, but I'm not there. So you got to start looking at like, where are the holes, right? I was sitting with my cousin years ago and I'm like, cuz I work out 6 days a week. I'm thinking about food, what I'm eating like all the time, trying to be healthy, but I still have a belly. And I'm like, why the heck am I spending so much of my precious time on earth trying to get in like great shape? and not giving it all I got. I'm thinking about it a lot. Why don't I figure out how to close the gap? And that's when I decided, like, I'm going to go that extra step. And you go that extra step, which is not even that big. And then this is the irony about life. You're rewarded for doing good things. And then you get the body you want and the energy you want. And then you can also eat more crap, but you're doing it with abs and doing it in great shape. And it actually can help you get gains if you know how to eat properly and train properly. Okay. And I'll tell you, there's a hack that in the bodybuilding industry, a lot of bodybuilders do, which is that they have like a refeed day once in a while where they actually overconsume once in a while. And they have,
I saw that video of Shaq. He just goes crazy.
Okay. Well, I mean, listen, none of us are Shaq size, so we got to be a little less crazy, but yes, you know what, exactly. So you have that refeed day, you really like treat yourself. Okay. And if you're lifting smart and you're lifting heavy enough, not heavy like 2 reps, okay? Like in my system, I'm all about not getting injured. It's key, especially if you're over 40. But if you know what you're doing with your lifting and you've got some real muscle mass, okay, that refeed day can actually aid in muscle building rather than like take it away. So it's almost like you can direct all those calories and those macros, so, you know, calories, carbs, fats, proteins to the muscles that you're trying to work on. Okay, so here's another good hack for you guys.
First, what's the ideal refeed day? Are you eating junk food or are you just eating like clean proteins?
Food quality is so important. So I would prefer you to be eating like a lot of like good food rather than like a lot of processed crap. Okay.
Like natural fatty food, like still, you know, a cheat.
Yeah.
A treat.
Like a treat. There you go. Like have a couple burgers, you know, or like a little too much steak, or like for me, I'm like a hummus guy. Like hummus is my jam.
I thought it's healthy.
Well, it is healthy, but not if you have too much, and not if you're having it with the pita and the tahina and arbei shem and zay lo tov. Okay, so you got to know, you know, like how you're eating it. But yeah, what was your question?
Just what that refeed day looks like, because part of what I'm getting is that basically you can call it treats, but you're basically just not eating the junk food ever for the rest of your life if you want to do this right.
Not at all. Not at all. I had a little bit of gelato last night.
A little bit of gelato, but
yeah.
Compare that to
scandalous.
A lot of lifestyles. It's like a little bit of gelato every night, and then a lot of bit of the ice cream and the pizza.
But here's the thing, brother. If you know what it is that you are consuming day in, day out, and you decide, I'm going to let myself have like 300 calories of gelato every night, or dark chocolate, or like a cookie, you can actually still get shredded.
But this is what I'm saying. 300 calories of gelato is so far from what a lot of people are doing.
So then don't have gelato every night. And
it's like 2 drumsticks.
And instead, what's 300 times 7? 2,100? Go to town, have 2,100 calories, let's say, once a week of gelato, and then be super dialed in the rest. Okay? Look, we got to use simple math. There's 3,500 calories approximately in 1 pound. Okay? So how much?
Many?
3,500.
3,500.
In 1 pound of what?
Of just
fat,
1
right?
pound.
Of fat?
Yeah. Like, I don't know if it's specifically fat actually, but it's in 1 pound. Okay. I've actually never seen if it's like a breakdown of fat or muscle. Just either way, 3,500 calories is the approximate number that is in 1 pound.
For everybody. Okay.
For everybody. So if we do simple math, okay, like a guy your size or my size, our BMR, meaning your basal metabolic rate, like how much you're just burning by basically living, not exercising, just day to day, you're probably at around 2,000 or 1,700 calories, even 1,600. Okay. A lot of nutritionists are going to be like, that's not enough food for a man. Well, don't give me that shit. What is the breakdown? What is the breakdown? You're right. If I'm like fueling on like bags of chips and like Sour Patch Kids, you know, you're right. I'm going to need a lot more. But if I'm fueling on like good protein, good carbohydrates, healthy fat, no, that's more than enough. Okay. So let's just say, simple math, let's just say 2,000 calories is your maintenance. Okay. And you want to get shredded. So you cut back 500 calories a day. So you're at 1,500 a day. So what's 500 times 7?
3,500.
3,500, 1 pound a week. Boom. Just like that. Okay. Or you could say, excuse me, I don't want to be that aggressive, Coach JB. That's a little too much. I'm like, all right, cool. So why don't we just drop 200 calories off your daily caloric intake. Okay. 200 times 7, that's 1,400 calories. So 1,400 calories per week, you're going to shave it off. What's 3,500 divided by 1,400? It's going to be about like 2.5-ish, if my math serves me right. So in about 2.5 weeks, you're going to lose a pound. Okay. But you also have another way to look at this. Like maybe I'm not trying to lose a pound, in 2.5 weeks or every week. So you say, well, I've got this margin of calories to play with. Maybe that is my treat. And maybe my treat is nightly or it's like once a week.
What about the whole, I forgot what is, it's not main gaining, that's something else, but the gaining muscle as you're losing fat. Is that ever possible?
It's a good question. So I think, first of all, it is possible, but it is challenging. Okay. I actually have all of my clients, like we phase out their journey. Okay. I want to help all my guys lose a bunch of body fat before we really focus on like meaningful, like muscle that you can really see. Okay. So in phase 1, we are burning body fat. We are building foundational strength and we're really opening up the body to get ready for phase 2, which is more strength building and not get injured in strength building. Okay.
How long is each phase?
The first phase is only 30 days.
Mhm.
And then the second phase, it's like forever, basically.
Oh,
Okay. There's like little mountains within that we like to climb. And, we get there, we take a break, we celebrate. But it's a lifelong journey, really. Right. But in 30 days, guys are dropping like 7 to 20 pounds.
That's a huge deficit.
Well, it's not that it's a huge deficit. It's that most people are hugely inflamed. And
So
you're
it's
going
a lot of water
through
weight.
life inflamed. Okay. A lot of people, and this is why I was talking about it's not just the calories, it's what's in the calories. What are they composed of that matters. A lot of us are walking around inflamed. Okay. You can quickly see when you're inflamed. Your face is puffier, your body is puffier.
Are we inflamed?
I'm so inflamed always.
I'm seeing,
Especially not getting sleep.
I'm seeing a little bit of inflammation. Okay. You're a little inflamed. I can see in
Yeah.
your cheeks. Yeah. But you got a good body. You got a great foundation to work with.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think a little tweak for you and you'd see some major changes.
It's also happens to be just this past night, I got like 4 hours of sleep and usually get 8.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how fast you lose that.
So today you're going to be extra hungry, but that hunger isn't going to be real.
Really?
Okay. Yes. So don't listen to it.
What is
Drink
that?
more
What do
water.
you mean it's not real?
It's not real. Your body's not actually like necessarily like hungrier, but you're going to feel like you need more food. And that's the thing about hunger is that often we think we need more food. We're almost addicted to that feeling of being full. We're addicted to chewing something, right? But it's not real. It's up here. Okay.
What's causing that?
Ask your psychiatrist.
Okay.
It's a long story.
It's not like I'm not feeding myself. It's not like I'm actually hungry and I'm just depriving myself of food just to get to the goal.
Look, if you want to get shredded, it's about getting comfortable with not being full.
Mhm.
Okay. It's very important to like not be full. Like if you go to bed stuffed every night, like you're not gonna get that great body that you want. Okay. But being stuffed, why do we need to feel stuffed? I'm telling you, it's an addiction. I used to be like addicted to being full. Okay. I was just like munching on bagels like throughout the day. Like
It
my
makes you
mom
feel
would have,
great.
like,
It
hot
makes you feel
bagels.
horrible.
It feels good for a few bites, but those hot bagels, it's like I didn't need to have like 2 or 3 a day. I thought it was going to help me be a good hockey player. But the truth is we need clean, good calories. Okay. We need to know how to stretch properly. And there is a way to stretch. We need to know how to move to really put on muscle. Remember, you don't need 6 workouts a week. It's actually negative.
Even if you're 22, you're saying
Yeah.
still 3 to 4.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Give those pipes a chance to heal and repair.
It's so fun.
I know it's fun, but there's other ways to have fun. Like, go for a great walk.
What if I would do, let's say 3 or 4 days of gym and then heavy cardio other days?
So that's
Is that too much?
No,
That's what you said you do.
No, I don't do heavy cardio.
Oh.
Now, again, we are over 40. Okay. So my system is for men over 40. It's not guys in the early 20s. If my guys are all going to heavy cardio and sprinting and running and this and that, like they're going to throw out their back. Okay. Or like pop a hamstring. Seriously, I can't train the way I did at your age, but I lift twice as much weight safely. Okay. So that's the interesting thing here. But running and tight hamstrings and sore glutes are like a massive cause of lower back pain. So many people, as we get older, have lower back pain. Most people just need to start opening up their hamstrings, stretching out those glutes, rolling them out, getting a good elbow there or a good massage gun or a rad ball or like some type of like lacrosse ball. And the lower back pain goes away. So I don't have any of my clients do heavy cardio. It's actually all low impact cardio. At your age, I would probably do like a lot of low impact cardio, and then I'd throw in a bunch of sprints and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hate to be the guy, but we are
Don't be the guy.
we're very short on time.
Ah.
And there's so much that we didn't get to in this interview. We have to have you back. That's for sure.
I'm down.
But a takeaway, a last message that you can share with everybody, maybe to someone who is not taking that next step. You said that you took that next step. You were putting in the work, but it wasn't doing anything. And then you said, I need to really go that extra step. What's your message to someone who's not doing that?
There is a way of living where the gift of life is so much greater than any other gift you can give yourself. Okay. Meaning a drink, the food, the whatever, the watch, the material things. There's a way to live. I'm not saying do without all those things, but I'm saying there's a way to live where you wake up and you live in gratitude. Okay. And the most impactful things that we can be grateful for are things on the inside, internal. It's not something that is going to create a pleasure, externally. Okay. So it's that breath of air. It's, giving thanks to God for another day. Modeh ani lefenecha. It's to experience love, it's to have health, like to just have another day on this earth. Like seriously, that is the biggest takeaway. And I hope everyone listening can understand that if you poison yourself on a regular basis with things that aren't good for you, you're dulling your ability to tap into that higher way of existing in this world. So it takes a bit of stretching ourselves to go from like the addiction of eat what I want, drink what I want, even addictive thoughts to over here. But once you get over here, I'm telling you, it's like the gift is another day of life. That is the happiness. That is the joy. That's the high. Okay. And then you live like that for a little bit of time, the body starts to show it. And then it's like, you got your cake, you eat it too. And if you want to treat yourself to some of those things you kind of had to say no to for a while, you do it, but you do it from a place of health and vitality and self-control. And then it's that much better.
Got to eat the cake, don't have the cake.
I like to say you can have your cake and eat it too. But let's get past the first few months. Let's reframe your mind. Let's change your habits. Let's change your palate. And then we can have that stuff. Okay. But I can tell you, as a guy that was chubby, and I used to look down my shirt and be like, I can't believe these stomach rolls and these man boobs and these love handles. When I have my ice cream or, a slice of pizza or like my bowl of hummus, which actually hummus shouldn't be in the same category because it actually can be very healthy. We'll talk about that on the next episode. All that stuff tastes so much better. Okay. Or like when I was having more l'chaims back in the day, it was so much more enjoyable when I wasn't also like, I really got to lose weight. Okay. I've lived both lives. This life is so much better, hands down. And the one thing that I wanted to say before I wrap, why is it better? It's not just about that it's better for us as individuals. Maybe the most important of all is that we can show up better for the people that we love and who love us and count on us when we are actually healthy, in control, positive, energized. And that's key. So it's all about understanding what is your internal motivator. Is it about you and looking your best, or is it about I want to be able to show up for these people in my life? Whatever it is, I want to be able to live my purpose, and I can't live my purpose if I'm sluggish and tired and getting sick every 2 months. Whatever it is, know what matters to you, and that will give you that internal fortitude, that koach, to really be able to just be unstoppable. And that's when life is the best. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you both.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julian. We need to have you back. Thank you.
Do it. I'm down. I'm down. Keep doing what you're doing, you guys.
Thank you.
10 sit-ups, 10 jumping jacks, and 10 squats. But just keep in mind, you want to go a little wide and tuck the elbows back. A lot of guys make a mistake of putting them like this. It's really hard on the rotator cuff. So tucking the elbows a bit. Yeah, think like elbows to rib cage. Yeah, there you go. All right. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Quick sit-ups. Don't break the studio. 3, 4, nice. 5, 6, nice range of motion, gentlemen. 7, little Shabbos sit-up. 8, work for that challah. 9,
All those dips, all that
10. Nice squats. 1, 2, 3. Let's go, bro. 4.
Is this good?
5. That's real good. 6, 7, 8, 9.
Getting some action here.
And now we just roll with the jumping jacks, with the jumpers. Easy, easy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're done. There we go.
I did it.
Everyone thinks we need like coffee and this and that to like get jacked up.
Yeah.
All you need is a bit of movement.
Hell yeah.
Done.